Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So I just wanted to, this hopefully will be a fairly short video, just wanted to put together kind of an update. It's been almost like a year since I've done anything, so just wanted to kind of fill in the gaps. So I have a little bit of a list here, and so as you can see, I'm in the 9.5 wagon that I have, and so yeah, that's kind of the big news here. So basically what happened was I filmed that video with all four of the Saabs that I had at the time, and that was more or less it. And then I did actually film some videos, but that was it that got uploaded. So everything else will kind of be a little bit later, and I'll get all that up. So what happened over the last year that sort of didn't get talked about or a video made on that's out yet. So the first thing I did is around December, I dropped off the 9.5 wagon. So as we all know, they rust out a little bit behind the rear doors in the arch. And so I had that, and it's kind of structural, so and it rusts from the outside in, so you can't really like Bondo it or anything. So I had that cut out, metal cut out, and new metal welded in. So I got the proper dog leg repair kit and had that done, and then had the paint blended back in and everything. So that got done, and that turned out really well. So yeah, and the greater picture of that really is that I got this wagon in like 2020, and I wanted to kind of fix it up and everything. But I've been learning about myself with owning a few different vehicles over the last couple of years, but I'm very fussy with it. It's hard to stop. So it's like I need to make a rule. I need to just buy nice cars and maintain them, because it seems like the worse off the car is, the more I just want to fix it. Like I could never have a beater car. I would just turn into a museum piece as much as I could afford. And I feel like if I had thousands of dollars sitting around right now, I'd probably have this very car, taken all apart and rebuilt the engine and transmission and driveline, everything. But anyway, so off topic. So that where was I going with that? That happened. It happens on all of them. I wanted it to be perfect, and so I had that done, and that was one of the things that I wanted to kind of do from day one. That was an interesting process. I actually got to help out with it, so that one didn't get filmed because I didn't do the bulk of it, but that was done and turned out really good. So I'll make a video on this car later, but I did that, and the paint's done, and I have somebody do the paint for me, but then I'll do the finishing work, which is like a wet sand and polish, and then to kind of blend all that back in. So I've been learning to do like two-stage sanding and polishing and things, and kind of getting all that worked out, which was nice for the dog legs, because again, the car's pretty much 25 years old at this point. So the original paint, you're never really going to have a perfect match, and it's not perfect, but again, it's 25 years old and a station wagon, so it's fine. This car also had some issues with the paint. We know the clear coat was very thin on at least the roof and the hood. That's always what goes. So just recently this year, I kind of said enough's enough. It's been 3 years. It's time to get this done. And the paint kind of was the thing there that sort of sparked the whole thing. So I sanded down the roof, and I took the roof rack off, and all that, sanded the roof down, sanded the hood down, had all that repainted, and then I wet sanded and polished that and everything, and went over the rest of the car. So the whole outside of the car has never looked better, with the exception of the bumpers. I'm not fixing the bumpers, at least not right now. Bumpers get bumped around, and I just find that scratches happen, and let's just leave that alone for now. So that's done. The outside of the car looks great. While that was being done, I kind of had the headliner out and cleared the sunroof drains, serviced the sunroof, fixed the loose liner, all that stuff. So that got done, and then so that took care of the cosmetics inside and out. Other than that, it was pretty good. I'd already handled so many of the little things inside and out. And then I had it to the shop to have the AC fixed, and I don't know, a few other things. It's not important. I had a few things taken care of. So I'm basically now driving this car as my daily driver and giving the 9.3 a break, which is really cool, because I always liked this car. I always liked the way it ran and drove. and you know, now to have it back looking better than ever is great. And if you saw the videos when it was new, or pictures when I had first got it or whatever, it didn't look great. So it's very nice to kind of have that come together. So that's one of the things I've been working on, is getting this station wagon up to the standard that I would like, which has been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and it's great. And this is a really, you know, a nice car. So yeah, I did that, and then I had that black 9.3 over the winter. I sold that in midsummer. That was a very nice car. I really liked that a lot. I liked the classic 900 that I had, and that car really reminded me of that. But yeah, that one sold and it's good to go, so that was fun. So earlier in the year, my work van needed a new transmission, so that took a bit of my budget, because I'm just kind of growing the business and everything. So that was definitely a hit. That also slowed things down. Let's see, some other things here. So I talked about detailing and polishing. I've been working on ceramic coatings, learning about those and things. I did some work with the plastics on the 9.3, and it looks phenomenal. Lessons learned, so you know, I wanted to practice. Let's see how it does, and then soon I'll hopefully make a video on that. I also wet sanded and polished the entire 9.3, and that car is really not in good shape. It may look good on camera, but it's not. I don't really think there's any original paint on that car. It's not been repaired the best. It was always orange peely and mismatched, and you know, the polish kind of evened that out, and it looks really nice now for what it is, which is, I mean, I guess in my fleet, so to speak, that is kind of my beater car, because it's not worth anything and never really will be because of its shape. But you know, whatever, it looks nice, which is what I care about. People, you know, you can't, if you're trying to not embarrass yourself with the way something looks, it doesn't matter how many owners it's had and how many crashes it's been in, as long as it's been fixed properly. So there's that. Some nice upgrades. So we'll touch on this later, but you know, how many cars do I need? Should I have all that kind of stuff? I've been getting into some new hobbies. I've been enjoying some travel. I've been kind of becoming an aviation geek, with looking at planes and flight radar and tracking that stuff, seeing what's flying over the house. So, you know, I've had other stuff that I've been interested in, and I don't, you know, it's nice to own stuff that you enjoy, but at a certain point, this stuff owns you, and that's a bad place to be. So after all, at the end of the day, I love vehicles, but a car is a car. It's made to get you from one place to another. And I don't think that any of my purchases have ever been extremely extravagant. They haven't been particularly expensive or anything, but the time and just the nickel and diming is just, it gets old, and you know, again, what's it all for? So I guess I had kind of a quest to sort of take the two cars that I liked the most out of what I own, which is this car and the 9.3, and just sort of make them a little bit more modern. So I added the Bluetooth kit to the 9.3. I'll do that to this. I'm looking at a list here, sorry. So that got done. I also put, so that my car, the 9.3, it's a base model car, so it only had the 4 speakers instead of the 6, and the 2 in the front doors, which was the ones they leave out on the old Gen 9.3s, are what gives you the nice bass notes. So I actually worked on a process to kind of get those back in. It's actually not all that bad, but I did it, so that was nice. I wanted to do it, and I did it, and now it has really good audio, even with the top down. And of course, we know the 9.5s, the audio's really good. Again, 25 years old, that's the thing here. It's not a 22 system speaker, speaker system, but it does have a little sub, and it's got more than 4 speakers, so it does for music from around the same era. So the paint, I'm rehydrating some of the vehicles, adding some features. I've got a self-dimming mirror for this that I would like to get hooked up at some point. I don't know, did a few other things. I got new floor mats for the 9.3. It looks great with the paint and the polish. So again, I could go all out on fixing the worn seats and fixing the leaks and stuff with the engine, getting the AC working on that car, but I don't know. It's never going to be perfect, so just have to be content, which I am pretty much. So there's that. I actually had my first car crash. I crashed a station wagon. It was a BMW, and ironically, when I was younger, I wanted to have a BMW as my first car, and I thought that was kind of stupid, and I'd probably crash it. And Yeah, I kind of did. I did. I was really kind of weird. It was, I don't know if I was wise then or stupid now or both, but it was a little bit embarrassing. I've never really had a speeding ticket or anything, or a parking ticket. I drive fairly slow, and it was just bad conditions, and who knows. But that happened, and that was interesting, and I'm now a more mature person because of it. I can tell you that. And anybody who thinks that I don't drive slower and more carefully from that is incorrect, because that was horrifying, and I don't ever need to be part of that ever again. And it was not, it was not negligence on my part. I was being careful and everything. But anyway, so a bug. Okay, there's a bug crawling on the visor, and it's distracting. So that happened. But shortly after that, I did end up buying, again, this was stupid, I'm done now with this, but I've made a video on it, I think, like just a review, but I actually bought a 2006, it's the last year for the E46, it's a 2006 BMW 330 Ci. It had an automatic transmission, but it was the coupe, silver, black interior. I was the third owner of it. I bought it for a very good price, and enjoyed that. I drove it it was right after the crash, so it wasn't fun. It totally ruined it, because I could have enjoyed it, but I couldn't sit behind the wheel and not envision the crash again. So that was that, and I sold that for a tidy little profit, and it's now in the hands of somebody who loves it more than I ever could enjoy it. So I'm sticking with Saabs. I think I'm gonna just do that. The Mercedes have been pretty good. I've not really had many issues with that, which is really nice. Those cars, so basically I did valve covers and the breather reseal on those, which was not terribly bad. So why do I own all these vehicles? Well, here's the thing that kind of started it all. I feel like with regulation and electrification and all the things that are changing out there, that when I get to a point where I'm a little bit older adult and have a house with a little bit more parking space and money and time, when I go back to look at cars that were popular when I was in high school, as many people do, I don't think a lot of them are going to be around, because a lot of the vehicles that I like are cars that were made to be used, and honestly at this point they're pretty much used up and gotten rid of. So I basically have done YouTube and the vehicle thing as a vehicle, literally, no pun intended, to own vehicles that I like while I can without taking a huge loss. And I feel like that's soon coming to a close, because first off, I've owned most of the vehicles, or driven most of the vehicles that I've ever wanted to, so I'm pretty content. And again, as far as stuff owning you, I don't really want to own a ton of vehicles, and now that the Saabs are where they are, I'm more content driving those, and they're efficient to run, and now they're pretty good looking and in good shape and reliable as far as you could expect for a car that age. That being said, I really like those Mercedes, and that's hard to part with too, but I think my heart lies with the Saabs. So I'm not sure what is going to happen there exactly, but those would definitely sell for a good price, whereas these, I don't know if I'm really ever going to get my money back on what I have into this, which is not a lot. It's just they're not worth a lot, so that's fairly capped there. So yes, and I also got to work on a 1971 Triumph, just with a few fiddly little things, getting that ready for sale for somebody that I know. So that was kind of cool. So maybe I'll do a video of that. I might actually be able to, but maybe not, because I'm a little too nervous to drive it. But that's been interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much the past. Upcoming, I just have to sort out everything. But it's been nice to kind of come up with a bit of a conclusion and get some things done. So now, as of today, all the vehicles are running. They're in very good shape. They're very well sorted. But it's never done. It never ends. It's always a project, and I guess that's kind of what takes a little bit of the fun out of it, because here I am with some very nice cars, and there's that bug again. Now would be the time to sell a few, and you know, it's just hard to say goodbye, but you know, you got to do it. It's part of life. So that's upcoming, or right now. Another thing upcoming with vehicles. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to get the videos that I made out. That's for sure. And I don't know how many I'm going to make, you know, upcoming, because everything's pretty much done. So I'll see what I can do. But it's kind of a lull right now, and I don't know. I was over 1,000 subscribers, which I think is really neat, because it's just such a novel. I didn't really expect that. And again, I've filmed this stuff so that in 10 years time, when I can just look back and see what I've done and everything and remember it. But it's just awesome to think that other people might be enjoying it too, and maybe even be able to learn something or avoid some mistakes, or I don't know. So that's been great, and I thank you all for doing that, subscribing and watching my stuff. One video I will make is on this car. I will kind of, you know, we'll look it over and look at everything that I've done, and it will look great. I just need to detail the interior yet, and that's just me being fussy, but it's also a mess right now, so I don't want to be outside with the rain we've had and things. So once I get it cleaned up, I'll make a nice video on that, and then yeah, so that'll be that. I think I've done a video on every vehicle that I own. They've all been fixed up and gone through very well, so probably enjoy them for a while, and then figure out what I want to sell while I can. And the last thing, I should have put this video out, you know, a while ago, but I haven't. I will be in Carlisle. I think it's May 12th or 13th, 12th and 13th, but I may only be there the 13th, which is a Saturday, depending on how things go. But I'll definitely be there Saturday. Might be there Friday, which is the 12th. Anyway, I'll put something in the description, but it's around that time. I will be there with this car. Is my goal, now that it's all fixed up and everything. And you know, it's not going to be that interesting at the show, but it's a car that I have that I can bring, so I'll do that and enjoy it. And it was nice to be in the show with the red 900 that I had a while back, and yeah, I just like to do that again. I know this one's far less interesting, but it'll still be kind of interesting, I guess. I guess we'll find out. So anyway, so feel free if you're around to check that out and whatnot. But well, the video's getting a little bit long, so I'll end it right there. But thank you for checking this out and watching the channel and everything, and stay tuned, because I definitely need to get the videos that are made uploaded. And like I said, I may continue my break. It's been you know, it's been interesting, so that may continue for a bit. But well, thank you again for watching.